You awake a few days after your dive with Draper and Cooper. And you've informed the person that kind of takes you to and from breakfast, to and from anywhere that you have to go, really, that you would like to speak with your handler. So a few days go by, and you receive notice that you will be taken. The door hisses open, and the person gestures for you to follow, as they do any day that you go anywhere. As always, the building of control is all sorts of twists and turns. They don't even seem to take the same route that they did last time, that they brought you to see Senior Agent Baxter. But eventually you get there. And same as before, they knock on the door, and you hear her call from inside her office to come in. They open the door, let you in, and the two of you are alone. She stands up from behind her desk, smiling, and comes around. The room is still a disastrous mess. There are piles of folders and papers. Her books are unevenly organized on the shelves. Some of them are sideways, upright, all this sort of thing. And she says, "Congratulations, that was your second dive. But I was told you wanted to speak with me. What can I do for you?"
Yeah, I have some information that needs to be reported.
Good, please, take a seat. Can I get you anything to drink?
No thanks. And I sit down.
She sits on your side of the desk, on the second chair next to you.
Ah, well, since I'm not allowed to have any items, I have to kind of do this by memory. I'll start, I guess, with Agent Cooper. He experienced nausea. I believe that he reported to control on our mission. Dizziness. Agent Cooper is naive, but I'm wondering if it's a cover of some kind, if he's hiding perhaps his intentions from the rest of us. Agent Draper is also experiencing dizziness like Cooper, and Draper is, I think, consumed is the best word. Caught up in wondering who he was before. He references things that he thinks he recalls from his past, and he thinks control is maybe giving him false memories. He speaks against control frequently, but I don't believe he desires to do anything. I think he's just talking. He likes to talk. A lot. He also told me about messages he's been receiving in his room.
He
Messages that
leans in at that.
messages that claim Gardner is still alive. I'm not sure whether to call these false memories or simply lies, but he seems to believe what he tells me is true. Both agents also talked to a repeated personality on both of our dives so far. We've seen her multiple times, but this time they decided to make contact, and they learned her name, Erica Sharp. They had a brief conversation with her about the book she was reading. And I think that's it.
She leans back, considering for a moment, and she says, well, first I want to say thank you. You're doing a very good thing coming to me and telling me all of this. I know I can feel maybe scary or like you're betraying them. I know you've been on 2 consecutive dives with them, but you've done the right thing. Now, the first thing I want to say to reassure you is when you enter the program, we do, in fact, help you forget your past. We find helps to engage with the program. However, sometimes you will remember cultural touchstones. So if you at any point remember any kind of painting or book name or anything like that, it's completely normal. Don't worry about it. It does help when you are engaging with hostile personalities to remember the world as it exists. So that part, I'm not as concerned about. Speaking against control, however, and the engaging with hostile personalities against direct order, I am more concerned about. So, again, I thank you for coming to me with this. We will keep an eye out on Draper and Cooper, and perhaps I'll ask their handlers to speak to them. In the meantime, I understand you are up to being lead agent during your next dive. It will be very important as lead agent to make sure that you are setting an example for your fellow agents. Do you understand? If they're doing things that you know are against protocol, it's your job to shut them down and to make sure they are following the directive for that dive. Now, you might have heard rumors that we don't generally put agents together at the same time, multiple times. It tends to form attachments. We've made an exception for the 3 of you for reasons that are unfortunately above your clearance level, but I feel it's important for me to tell you that it is intentional that we are putting you together because we have so much faith in you, Harper, to set these two on the right path for control. If you keep up the way you're doing, you're going to be a very big deal here. Do you understand?
I understand. And I would like to be of as much use as I can. So if there's any additional information that I need to know before going into the next dive that the other agents maybe cannot handle, as lead agent, I would be happy to hear it.
She stands up and walks around her desk and reaches in to one of the lower cabinets, and she pulls out a spiral notebook and a pencil. Comes back around and kind of leans on her desk and hands it to you. I know it is tricky, especially sometimes it takes a couple days to get us in a room together. Consider this a symbol of our trust. Anything that you feel that you want to write down, record, and share, feel free to use this to do so. I don't personally know what you're doing for your next dive, but I will reach out to the individual in charge of organizing that. What I can tell you is that there is, she chooses her words very carefully, there is something coming for you, Agent Harper, a assignment that will make your career here at Control. If you are prudent, if you are dedicated, if you continue on the path you are taking. Deep blue clearance, level clearance, coming very, very soon.
Thank you. And I kind of hold the notepad up before sticking it in a pocket. One more thing. We've noticed once it starts snowing, it becomes harder to contact control. Is there
Yes.
a way to prevent this? Or somewhere we can be that helps contact become easier in the snow?
Well, the easiest way is, of course, to not incur so much static, which can be done by not engaging in activities that are against protocol, not speaking to personalities, and so on and so forth. And the less time that you're down there, the easier it is for us to communicate with you. There aren't, unfortunately, terribly many tricks to contact us, but you could try getting back to where you appeared in the first place. Often there is a special connection, for whatever reason, with our agents in the field and the location that they appear. Not always, mind you, but sometimes.
Okay, I will keep that in mind, just in case.
Of course.
Is there anything else you wanted of me?
Harper, I remember our first conversation. You were stoic and calm. You did not have any concern. But I can see on your face, your eyes have sunken deeper and deeper. I know that the nature of our work can make sleep a daunting prospect at times, but it is still necessary for you. Outside of dives, that is.
I will keep that in mind as well.
If it persists, it will not be a suggestion.
Understood.
Good. I'll go get some rest. And again, thank you and good job.
She stands up and without another word turns and heads for the door.
Your person is outside the door. They walk you back to your room. Again, taking a different route, typing in a code, waving their hand in front of the RFID. Do you say anything to them?
I do not. I think there's one tiny, teeny tiny moment that's like not even fully a thought, but her hand just tightens around the pencil for a second and then just remembers the twists and turns and her hand untightens.
You get back to your room, they let you in, the door hisses shut, and you are alone again.